Hey everybody. Social media can be such a toxic place to spend your time. Sometimes I gotta be careful. It can definitely affect your mood in not a good way. People are so very often unkind and unnecessarily unkind. I don't know what kind of world you're looking to create, but we must always be mindful that we all live in this world. Our children will inhabit this world that we are creating. Sometimes people say things and they do things without any thought of the consequence. I'm specifically thinking of our young men today, even our older men, how we treat our men. Our society is very patriarchal. There is a lot of misogyny, a lot of toxicity in our world today. We talk about it often when we're talking about the effects on women. But women are the life bearers. I think it's important that we consider our men and the healing that is required. If, as women, we seek to live in a different kind of world, to address some of the toxic patriarchal systems in place, we have to heal our men. What we ask of our men sometimes isn't natural, it's not fair. The burdens that we ask them to bear. Like I said, I'm quite aware of the struggles of women. I am a woman. I'm quite aware of some of the things that men do that are hurtful to us. The way in which we have to be mindful that they may not have to be. I get it. But if we want to address that, that starts with healing our men, building our men up. Starts when they're little babies and little boys. What we teach them. What we teach them about what it means to be a man. So often our society has taught our men that they're not allowed to express emotions. That it's somehow feminine to express one's emotions, as if being feminine is somehow weak. It takes strength to be gentle and kind, and it takes great strength to be kind in the face of unkindness and to be gentle. But that's not what we teach our little boys. They grow up to be men with suppressed emotions, and I imagine there's certain types of burdens that they bear from that. I was angry today. I saw a post and a woman decided that she'd point out a young man's weight gain. It was done in a derogatory way, a way to attempt to make him feel some kind of way about himself. Unnecessarily being unkind. It was intentional, but unnecessary. She could care less about the platform in which she chose to do it. Like I said, it was intentionally unkind. Wonder how we would feel if that was a woman on the other end of that. We must be mindful. Our men need healing if we want the world that we say we want. So often, I have heard young men tell me about their childhoods, being sexually touched when they were 9 and 10 and 11, sometimes younger. They never said it as if it was a problem. If that were a little girl and some grown man had touched them at that age, we understand that there ain't nothing but a pedophile. We understand it's a problem. If a man touches a little boy, we understand it's a problem. But so often we don't speak about the number of women that do this to young boys. This is just as damaging. So often these young men don't speak about these encounters as if it's something to be prideful of, or they won't acknowledge the problem in it because the dynamic is a woman and they're a man. But it is not okay if you are 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, and some grown woman is touching you or having sex with you. It's a problem. There's something wrong with that woman that she would make that choice. I don't care how mature a young man is. A grown woman should have enough maturity and self-discipline not to touch a child. I hear men talk about being teenagers in high school and grown women picking them up from school. There's something wrong with that. And then we don't even think about the effect. So often these men grow up to be womanizers. They may love women and hate them at the very same time. Because what was done to them was wrong, and a part of them knows it was wrong. And we think it won't affect us and affect our daughters. We have to think about our young men. They need healing. And we need them to heal if we want the world that we say we want. So you can see my thoughts a bit. But I saw that post and it really made me angry. I can't stand to see a woman tear down another woman, but I can stand it even less when they tear down another man. For what? What is the purpose? The way we interact with each other, we need to understand the humanity in each of us and act accordingly. Be mindful. I said we're all human. There's not going to be any perfection in this, but some things are blatant and we take no time to think about them, to address the issues. Our men need healing. How many men I know in abusive marriages and they're not the abuser? Watch their wives tear them down bit by bit. The women usually feel somehow powerless, and as some way of trying to maintain control in the relationship, they've learned to tear down the man that they're in a relationship with. Mock any gentleness or softness in them. Like I said, it takes strength to be gentle. It takes strength to be kind. But I've watched women abuse their husbands physically, emotionally, mentally. These are usually women that were hurt people. But we have a choice. Not every hurt person hurts people. I'm aware of that. But the people that do the most damage came from usually some deep trauma. And they just passing it on in their own hurt. We have a choice what we do with our hurt. You can look at it and say, I never want somebody else to feel that way. I never want to make another feel that way. And to be mindful and make conscious efforts to do something different. We need a better world. It's not just going to build itself. But like I said, it's no more right for women to cause trauma to men, to tear them down, to touch them when they're children, than it is for a grown-ass man to do it to a young girl and a woman. It's not any better. It's so often untalked about. I worked with a therapist, and we just happened to work in the same environment. He wasn't my therapist, but he specialized in working with veterans. So often, these were men who had sexual trauma in the military, if not before. How often they committed suicide. We want to heal our world. We're going to have to heal everything in it. Our men need healing. Our women need healing. Our children need healing. That's going to take all of us doing some self-awareness and, building that self-awareness and doing things differently. Being more conscious in what we do and how we do it and what we say, thinking about it before we say it. Like I said, we're all human. We're not going to be perfect in it, but so much of this world just seems to be sociopathic. We can't look at another and see their humanity, our interconnectedness and our interdependence. Can't just heal women without healing our men. Like I said, we're too interdependent and interconnected. You're not going to somehow have a society of well women without having a society of well men. Some of the things that we see in patriarchism and patriarchy and misogyny, and it requires that our men experience healing so that we can fully heal. It's interconnected and it's interdependent and it's important. I'm all over the place today, but I was so angry when I saw that video. Women, let's do better. Live bearers, let's do better. What are we nurturing and growing? What kind of world are we looking to create? I love you guys. You have a good weekend.